Why should you choose a mediator in the divorce process? Well, first reason is for for people who like to have control, who don't like to leave their destiny in hands of I call a stranger in a robe, meaning a judge. A judge only has sometimes 20 minutes to decide on a case, read the file, and 30 cases in a day. A mediator who is paid for entire day or days will spend significant amount of time to ensure the mediator understands this. It's going to be, in a way, mediator is a neutral facilitator who is able to facilitate between two parties and spend as much time as needed to come to a resolution that I would feel if I were in the mediation comfortable. In mediation, usually people come out equally, semi-equally uncomfortable. That means the mediation was well done. Second reason, you don't have to go to a family lawyer for the entire divorce to divide your assets. Meaning in the mediation, a mediator can help depending on the complexity of the case. Of course, if there is some more RSUs, stocks, and divisions involved where it requires appraisers and all kinds of specialists, a mediator typically can help divide assets without excessive involvement of family lawyers. Court, the reason number 3, court is stressful. When a client is going through a court process, it is very stressful. Even after practicing over 10 years, I can still feel the level of stress when I'm appearing in court. It's almost like public speaking. The reason for that is because someone is deciding in a split second about someone else's life, and it is very stressful to give a judge so much power to decide. And in the civilized world where we can discuss things, I think judge is not always necessary. So we can avoid that stress and deal with it in a mediation session. Legal advice is still an option. So when clients are going through a mediation, the mediator is able to provide legal information, not legal advice, because a mediator is a neutral facilitator, is not allowed to give legal advice. However, a mediator can provide information and say, go speak to your independent attorney about what we discussed. And typically when a marital settlement agreement is done, then the mediator usually has to advise to seek an independent counsel. Less anger. When we are in court, it's inherently win-lose confrontational type of attitude that transpire in people some behavioral issues, meaning when someone files a declaration, we have to file a better declaration and convince the judge, and it becomes very confrontational when actually we want, number one, divide assets, or we want the best what's for the child. And I noticed when we're in the mediation, there are so many misunderstandings that we don't know about if we went to court and drafted declarations. It's almost like, I don't know, if you texted someone or emailed someone and something is misunderstood, and then you're speaking to them eye to eye, and it turns out you're actually more on the same page than you were thinking, because emails and text messages and communications through lawyers is not the best, not always the best. If you have children together, you don't end up enemies, meaning when you sit down with the other side without having to go through trials, through courts, through this animosity, through spending thousands of dollars. Imagine how much anger you might have after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to find this other parent when it could have been avoided in 3 mediation sessions. And of course, talking about dollars. A trial can be a couple $100,000 depending on the complexity of a case. It can be 25, but mediation usually is less expensive. And in my next video, I will talk about when mediation is not recommendable. Keep watching. If you like the video, click like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye!